these cards. And the consistency at which RR finds them, and then you're spending all this time answering all these threats they're playing, RR just goes flip, search bomb after bomb after bomb. That's why Necrolance was oppressive.
Oh, coming up.
We are back, boy.
Jeremy.
If it's Prissy and Red Sleeves, I enjoy that person. That person is being fair. If you're going to play a Cancer deck, at least warn your opponent.
Gotta have green on the stone. I'm playing some red blue. Ready.
Wait, you said the stones are green too?
The stones would need to be green for that to work out totally. The stones are blue. It's Charlotte Aggro. Be prepared.
Oh, God. Alright, I'll leave you two to do commentary. I'll just be sitting on here muttering random things like Roger did earlier.
I've not even got the stream on. Yeah, I mean...
Is it? Oh, I really want to know what it is now. This is the best thing, is like, we walked in today and we're all like, oh, ready to commentate Prisia, and every single one, after that first match of Fox versus Feasting, we're like, okay, Prisia's next, and then it wasn't. Now we're just like, what is going to turn up on these tables? I just don't want another Feasting.
In before feasting number 4.
Please don't. Like, Heal, we know we don't like Prisia, but I think people are sick of Feasting too. I mean, we've had it since CFC. It can die anytime now. Gwibber will actually be something I miss. I love Gwibber as a mechanic. I think it's a broken mechanic and a horrible card. But I've loved Gwibber since the moment
that's
I
red.
saw
I
it.
see Atama. I see Gwibers. It's Feasting.
Oh, God.
That is playing Feasting. I see a Guinevere and I see Gwibbers.
I'm done. You guys can commentate this. I'm not going to commentate another Prisia or another Feasting.
Well, it's Prisia.
Prisia versus Feasting.
I just didn't want to see Feasting again.
Gwyn got wall winded off the Energize.
The fear that the Prisia player has for it.
I don't know. I think I'm prepared to see like a Jack.
I don't think the Jack versions, from what I've seen of them, play wall. The Spinning Myth version does play wall, though.
I think any deck could play wall if it has a green.
Well, yeah, but a lot of the lists that have come out for the Jack list, they don't seem to like, because you want to keep your Energize to try and Energize out the turn 2 Jack. So I've seen a lot less walls.
I think we're green base. With Burb replacing Scout because it can fly.
So does that mean we're not in Titanias as well, or are we still trying to do Titanias?
No, he really wants his mana. He's going to try and make a Gwyber here to block.
So this is what you were talking about, Galen, with these turn 2 Gwybers. And I do think they're very powerful. If they can rush out these turn 2 Gwybers, it really does put a big wrench in the plan of the Prisia deck. But if it
now
just
they
gets
just
like
can't
Gale Force at
OTK.
the end. But if it just gets Gale Force at the end step or on the draw, it's a feels bad moment. And a lot of these decks are maining Gale Force.
Maybe. Yeah, there has to be a Gale Force in hand. But then also he doesn't have the things on board right now. So he doesn't have the regalia on board, so he can't even OTK.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the OTK isn't what you're worried about. Even them hitting a Jack can be painful because now Jack shuts down all of your incarnations. It's really bad if they land a Marabella because then it can shoot down all your stuff. Any of these turn 2 plays, if you can't land a Gwyber, are bad.
Little Fox. I'm assuming Jack Prisia. We block with Guinevere. That place is really bad. Now our feasting players board is just gonna develop a bunch, and like there's not much the Prisia player can do to beat it. He's gonna. I think he bounces the Gwyber or the Brawley. So because he has a no, he bounced the Brawley because he has another Gwyber in hand.
Does he have another Gwyber in hand, or would he bounce the Brawley to play a possible Dray? Because he could just replay the Gwibber right now because he played. He got the token trigger off playing the Gwyn, so he could Gwibber right now. He doesn't need to bounce the Brawley to redo it. Oh, well, no. There, see, that's what his plan is. He bounces the Brawley to do the incarnation over a token and an egg, searching the drag and then playing the drag here.
And that feels way better than just bouncing your Gwyber. Wyber and Greg comes down. I think the Priscilla player needs to just enter scoop phase here. There's not a lot he can do.
If if this is Myths and he is a Nagi's here, that is a very different board we are now in. He's going to get all three of the flyers, and then there's nothing that can punch through.
There's a wave.
Even if he wins. Ooh, all right. But even if he wins one of the three flyers, then there's really nothing else there because the Brawly can't punch through a 17-17 not. Even if he can develop like a death scythe or something here as well and waits a turn, he attacks twice, wastes his Goddard, and it just gets blocked twice by two of the flyers, and then you've wasted your Goddard and your Priscia's dead. It's never good.
I think we float Will. We're getting a stone. And I think we're just waiting for a play to be made.
Marabella?
Marabella.
Yeah, this is...
It doesn't.
It
Loses,
doesn't.
I'm pretty positive.
The one thing it does is it stops him from lethal, because technically speaking, if he doesn't kill the Gwyn, there's lethal on board. 3 flyers in the air plus a Gwyn pump is lethal. So he has to develop the Marabella to shoot down the Guinevere, or he literally just dies on the untap. Why?
Block with Adam Brawley feels really bad there. I would just let it go through.
I mean, the Adam Brawley is not needed to win this game from this point.
But still, like, why? People don't understand the Marabella interaction. So if he pumps with your Guinevere, you just go, okay, that resolves. Now I'm going to deal 500 damage to it. That Glibber is dead because of Guinevere's effect. Oh, people are bad. People are bad. He scooped for no reason. Oh my god. Oh, you're so bad. Please, people, please. That's a huge misplay. That's a huge misplay. He just lost a free game. There were so many misplays on the Priscilla player's side, I believe. Well, he still could be Myths. The Myths do play Marabella.
No, that not in the main very much. It's more likely Jack. But I do want to see a Priscilla do this transformative sideboard. I think it's a really good idea. Like if in this matchup, like the Jack would have been really good if this were a different matchup, but it's not. So you take out all your Jacks, you take out your Skyscraper Giants, and you throw in Spinning Myth, and it's that simple of a switch over.
Yeah, seems quite strong.
I think Jeremy was really onto something with a transformative sideboard. I think you may, because like we were talking about the surprise factor of Jack being gone, but Jack coming down on turn 2 still shocks people. And then game 2, they bring in all this stuff like Gale Forces and Bear Magic to try and stop you, and you go, cool, I've got Izanagi now, what do you do? And you're like,
well, Gale Force still really hurts the Izanagi plan, because I just kill it. Because you have to give it Swiftness Flying.
You just never give it flying.
It's only if you have another resonator you control that. You have to have 2 resonators out.
But most of the time you'll have an elf or something. Like,
I
the
don't know.
spinning mist doesn't really normally go off without another resonator. I mean, it can happen, but then the other thing is that, like, you can just attack first every turn. It's an odd interaction. I really like the Gale Force against the Jack version because it just straight up kills Jack early enough for you. Against the Spinning Mist, it's not exactly my favorite card to have. I would much rather have an actual removal that will actually kill it and not have to worry, are they going to have 2 resonators? Because it's just a feel bad moment if you have Gale Force in hand and they just keep giving their elf flying. And they just slam you in the face for 20 damage and 20 damage and 20 damage. You basically need the Jack on turn 2 and hope they didn't develop a Gwibber. That's really what that matchup comes down to. If you can turn to the Jack and slam face and they didn't develop a Gwibber, you get the 17/17, then you just blow up all their incarnation material for the rest of the game and they never develop anything. They basically cannot brawly you, because if they ever try and get a value brawly, you go, cool, kill everything, including your brawly. And then they go, oh, I'm going to have to heart, like, cool, you get to cast Dregs, but your Gwibbers are basically offline if you ever try and value them.
Yeah.
I mean, we should know what it is. It's game 2.
Timing people. You always opt to go second. Even in the spinning, you choose to go second.
Unless the opponent's
Because
ruler
you
doesn't
wanna-
have Energize.
You almost always go second even in the spinning, because that's the best way to get the torrent off, which will get you your stone on turn 2, is you'll be able to turn 1 any spell you want. It gives you, if you don't have to have the elf. It turns already a 2-card combo into a 3-card combo. Now you can just do it as a 2-card combo with a Regalia if you have Energize. And on top of that, you want more things to remove when the Izanagi comes down. So you always want to go second, so you have the targets for the Izanagi. So here's the question. Let's say this is the Jack version. Do you oh, never mind, they sacked the Gwyn. I was like, do you keep the Gwyn alive here to play? Do you go Energize Jack, tap for stone, give it swiftness, and target the Gwyn with flying? Yeah, he does.
Both redstones.
Now Marabellia doesn't have a target. Now that makes Marabellia significantly worse. Yeah, but the feasting top decking another Apollo doesn't help much. Does he have two Regalia in hand? I can't tell. Titania, I think, is the blue card. Is there any way we can ask Keel if he can like move the or no, he has that PVC pipe set up. Yeah, I was gonna say if we could move the camera up like 6 inches, it would be amazing. Yeah, which actually now that makes the Marabellios actually live again. That Fiery Fox does a lot. And that's a Gwyber too. I have a love-hate relationship for this deck. I love Gwibber and I love this deck, but it's just it needs to it's so bad, but it's so good.
We Gale Force it end turn. We might see the flip and kill here.
But I mean, if your plan is to flip and kill, what is the value of getting both of those Apollos out now and wasting your Fiery Fox activation?
You're getting both Gwybers out, I think.
He doesn't have the mana for it.
So we can OTK? Oh, I thought there were two Gwybers. Never mind. Yeah, maybe just get rid of both Apollos. I don't know why he did.
I guess the Fiery Fox activation was just there anyway, so it's kind of using your mana efficiently, and he's going to eventually horn back all these stones to make his Marabellias worth it. So his stones are absolutely beautiful, I would just like to say.
Oh, in comes the Jack. In before counterspell. Counterspell. Keen sense it. Keen sense it. Keen sense it.
If he has the counter, I think this game is broke wide open.
That's a
I think he has
That's a
Wallow
flame
in.
trap. Flame Trap set, Death Scythe played. I think we're gonna see the Feet Sing run away with the game here now, because he can just play like one thing and then a Gwyber, and then his opponent is just sad because he's gonna start beating him in the face.
Well, actually, no. If he plays one thing and a Gwyber, that produces a token, and that turns on
Oh wait, never mind. That
the
plays
flame trap.
I mean, he's going into turn 5, right? So
That
he can just 5-drop a Gwyber.
I mean, yeah, he can just hardcast the Gwyber, but that still feels like a win for the Prisia.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Well, he could also. What he can also. Well, no, I think the proper sequencing here, if I were in his position, would be play a 1-drop, play a 1-drop, produce the token off of another 1-drop, or like a Regalia, something that won't produce an actual thing, and then you either need to Brawly over the 2 creatures you just played.
Another Gale Force.
Ooh, jeez. Or you need to have a Regalia here, and then with the Gwibber on the stack, Gwyn either the token or the creature you played, and that keeps you always at 3. There are ways to keep with like spells on the stack, because they have to resolve before the trigger on the flame trap is met. Like, here's exactly the play. So now, since he played the Regalia, he can Gwyn the token, and then with the Gwibber on the stack, and the Gwibber will.
Oh, there's the Adam Brawley play that Roger was talking about, where I'm betting we're going to see Adam Brawley Gwyber.
Yeah, he'll probably Gwyber for 3. Ugh, but see, that's actually a feels bad now. Like, doesn't he have Ruler's Memoria down there? So then you tap. Yeah. Oh, so you can't. Well, wait. The Brawly produces a mana, so he taps. If he goes and he taps, but no, then he'll turn on Flame Trap if he plays the Tatiana. Yeah. Yeah, I think having to Brawly a double green is actually a win for the Prisia. I think he should have just cast the Gwibber with on the stack, win the token. That way you keep your add-on Brawly for the chance of drawing into a red or blue creature. What's the attack and defense on Fiery Fox?
It's a 4/7.
Oh, geez. Okay, never mind. That is a big butt. No clue.
The pizza player having
But see, this is such a bad Mariabella. Does he have a third basic red, or did he just completely? Oof. He already. But yeah. Oh, you know how important, like, you want to actually, if he had done that right, he lets Mariabella resolve. Okay? So here's what happens is Mariabella should resolve. With her trigger on the stack, Fiery Fox away one of your mono red, get a red green, give it a blast and a breeze. Then shuffle back in your graveyard, call the red, get another blast counter, then call stone. Now you've got 2 breeze and 3 blast on it, and you can attack, and you can even give it flying because now you've got 2 breeze counters to counter the possibility of a gale force, and you can even shoot down the Gwibber in response to the block and get in for 10 damage. Like, that would have been huge. That misplay is actually going to cost him a lot. No. So basically, what happened is he tapped for a stone and put the breeze and the blast counter on it, and Zach attempted to gale force it, but he's like, I haven't actually resolved my Pristia triggers. Because Zach never asked if the Pristia triggers were resolved. So in response, holding priority on the Pristia triggers, he's Fiery Foxing. So that way, if he ever actually does have the Gale Force, like, this would have been the proper play, but I think Zach jumped the gun on trying to attack, or trying to use the Gale Force. He didn't actually ask if the trigger resolved. I still think it's a big miss not having that 3rd blast counter right here. That 3rd blast counter would let it fly over into the Gwibber and be completely safe.
Blast counter is definitely a misplay.
I can see it. You have the mana open. Why might as well use your open mana than the resource that's limited.
My question is, how many cards does our Priscia player have in hand? Because that could really make a difference here. So it seems the 12 is going to get through here.
That's dangerous. Does he have another way to make a flyer, or is he gonna have to Apollo back? Ugh. And he can't even commit anything else here. If he commits something, he turns on the. Oh, now he just turned on the flame trap though. The minute priority gets passed to Jeremy, he can pop that flame trap and blow the entire board. Oh, and he can even get the Gwibber here too because of the blast counter. He can get everything. But it doesn't matter because the Earther has an enter. I will know because the new ruling says you have to pass priority, so he can Gwyn. Gwyn's part of cost, so yeah, he could like Gwyn the Earther right now. But actually, so it's kind of, I don't get why players do this, but you don't remove from the grave until the ability has resolved. So like by definition of removing the card, you're stating the card has resolved.
So I don't get why we didn't just auto flip Flame Trap there.
What is this Priscia player doing?
Inside.
How is this Priscia player 5-0 is my question. Because they're making a really weird plays.
Like, is that face down Flame Trap? It has to be.
Hashtag it's a
Like,
it's a
he-
it's a
that was
bait.
I mean, it's a possibility. If I had a dead card, well, what dead card are you standbying in Priscia?
A
Second
jack?
Fiery Fox?
No, not a jack. A giant. A giant in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, but he hasn't really seen a Gwyn. Yeah, but they don't play it in this list, do they?
Hashtag stick text. So it looks like we're gonna Apollo our Guinevere and cast it again. Oh, and Gust. Oof.
Oh,
Gust hurts.
but like he shouldn't have a board right now. If that's Flame Trap, this entire board should be gone. But by the fact that the Marabellia shot at the Earther, he was given priority at some point. The Yeah, but well, even still, the Earther gets played, it targets the Marabellia, and then he would have had to say hold priority, Gwyn the Earther, and then say you can respond. Then at that point, obviously, you just shoot down the Gwyn and you call it a day. But the fact that he shot the Earther implies that Zach, the feasting player, passed priority while the Earther was still on board to the Priscia player, who should have just been like, shoot your Gwibber, hold priority, Flame Trap. Your entire board's gone.
Stupid. Stupid.
Galen's being salt.
Okay, I
love
played during Alice's World format, and I hated the deck.
I loved Alice's World.
I disliked it. I mean, it was really complicated and really hard to play, but like, I just never really liked that format that much. Someone's a god. Are we about to
That's
see some
just-
super cheese?
I think so. He needs a way
There's
to
still
get
a
to the
Death
death
Scythe
site.
on board.
Okay, but now how does he give the Marabellia swiftness? The God's Art?
It seems he just passed the turn. No, it doesn't, because he flipped over.
But yeah, it's on the wrong side now. Unless he can produce another flyer, that Gwibber can't attack.
And it attacks anyways.
This guy just...
Oh, he has to be able to produce another flyer, right? I think our player is getting greedy for a win. They see their opponent at 1,000 life and is like, I'm going to try and kill you. I don't think he can deal enough damage to kill him because his Prissy is only 2,000 and Maribel is only another 1,000. No idea. No, it just attack, if anything. We're flipping our feet sing. It shouldn't, right? Because he's just going to attack. He has both his redstones out, so he's going to automatically hit red-green and just go, God's Art. Oh, incoming Jack here. I think we're playing a Jack. Never mind, I can't read that card. That's an Athena, is it? No, there's a Gwyn and then the next card he plays.
Okay, but like, are there any flying threats on the board still, or no?
Priscia Goddard makes everything.
Yeah, but for the feasting player, there's nothing flying, so
I know, I think he might be dead here.
you just got you tap the horn on the horn. Yeah, it's horn's gone, so you can't. So they've got
Miss Resonance on our Mariabella. Oh, looks like the concession from the feasting player. What was the face down? We'll get to see the face down. I'm betting it was a skyscraper giant.
but what's the face down?
I'm betting the face down was a skyscraper giant because he didn't reveal it. I'm so betting that. I'm so betting it was a bluff. I'm pretty positive it was a bluff because there was a play he could have made with a flame trap that would have cleared the feasting player's board. I really wonder how much time is left in the round, because it could really determine who gets this game.
Aren't they supposed to be doing the Wanderer?
There's 3 minutes on the feature, 4 minutes on the round. Yeah, I just asked in the regular stream. I did that a little bit ago.
What's the fourth?
Lol.
Oh, what's the other? What's the other new frontier? What's the yeah? Why would you do that on the same day as the Wander event and the GP?
Because you can.
This is
Yeah, says the company as they plan the New Jersey GP over Nats. Yup. Nope.
God, this company sometimes. Oh, it hurts my soul. Lovely.
I, I I looked at my invite. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to Nats. I'm like, that's okay. Nats doesn't give invite.
It doesn't look like Feasting has the dust dice. Is our Feasting player just like dead here? Because he doesn't have the ability to stop the turn two
Welcome to
flip?
playing against Prisia.
I don't see a flyer is the problem. Oh, it's time in the round, so the game's going to be over in like 3 turns anyways. We might see a draw come out unless the Prisia player just wins. Oh, here's the Adam Brawley. Just kidding. In before Walla wins.
Who was turn zero? The feasting? Well,
The
no, who was
Feasting
turn
is
zero?
turn 0.
Well, then that means unless they can produce a flyer on their next turn,
Unless we
they
have a
can
wall
the
here. Oh, he
Prisia
doesn't have
player
a
can still
wall.
kill on turn 3.
I think with the Titanian hand, we'll see a flyer on turn 3.
But can he actually produce the 3 creatures using only
Yeah, because
1
he
mana?
searched Guinevere here, and he got the mana off of our elf, so in comes Guinevere.
All right.
Oh, there's the set. Is it a bait? Is it a debate part 2?
But
I have no idea. Oh, there's a flyer. We have a bird.
Why would you pop the bird? The bird protects you just as much as the death sight does.
Well, 4 things will have died this turn after Brawley, so
I guess the divine bird was just as good. Why risk it?
but what the heck? An egg?
The misplays at this top table are high. Didn't the feasting player throw game 1 by doing the same thing? Or, or game 2?
The feasting player threw game 2.
Or, yeah, the Percy.
It seems Priscilla doesn't have a death sight or a Levitin to go off. Wow.
Ugh. Nope, just gonna keep everyone on tilt. Unless he makes top 8, and then we'll actually get to see if he has a flame trap anywhere in the 55.
Well, they tied, so that's lovely.
Force of Will gets so many ties. I don't know what it is.
Also,
But no other game has 60-minute rounds. Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And all of them have. I guess it's because when you make a powerful card, it's hard to make a mid-rangey card in this game because when a card is very powerful, mid-range cards are generally good, and that's what makes them. If you fill your deck full of good cards that are efficient all along the curve, you have a mid-range deck. And the Priscia Jack deck feels mid-rangey to me, and it has this backup of "Oops, I win" on turn 2. But we don't really have, because for some reason Force Will likes to make really good 1 and 2 drops and really good 1 and 2 drop answers, which means you get this awkward, efficient removal game of who can find what first. So either, like you said, we've had very few good 3-mana removals. It's just odd because when you compare it to Magic, we don't have Tarmogoyfs and Siege Rhinos and Obs on Charms and Dark Commandants, these mid-rangey really good cards that generate lots of value and are just efficient for their cost. We have Lancelots and Guinevere's and Prithias. It's like every